Good morning.
Good morning. For those who just saw that, sometimes what happens when we jump in a call, Butch starts talking to me, and I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't- I don't want to talk to you, so I have a new sign ready, So that's what it is. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a video review. Video review? Video review? Is it?
Is that what you called it? I call it a live stream.
Well, people watch it on videos and all of that. I don't know. Well, it is a review of a new newsletter, AI in QA. AI in QA is a newsletter. Wow, which is delivered to you every Monday in the morning with the few articles in it about AI in QA. And to subscribe, you just go to ainqa.com. While you type it, it might look weird, but look at us. What did you expect? And then you can subscribe there. And also, you can see all of the issues, including today, number 22.
It's an exciting day. And
It
why
is.
does it look weird? You don't like my dark black and purple
No. I meant while you
vibes?
type, it might look weird what you're typing.
It's true.
I.
Yeah, double eyes in a domain is a little strange for sure.
And it's okay. It's okay.
So, fun fact, my biggest Google search request is AIIN. And I think it's people maybe trying to type AI in India, maybe. I don't know. But it is interesting. The QA part is left off on the top of my search results. So,
Okay. But, as long as people land where they need to land, it's all good. What do we start with today, Butch?
let's start with Butch's take because I'm
You read my
very
mind.
passionate about my take. So, I guess my first question to you, I'll just briefly break it down. I had a peer in testing ask about how to get started with AI. And my advice was actually had nothing to do with any QA stuff. It was really more about learning the basics of Claude Code, which is an AI tool. And yeah, my recommendation is download it, pay for a subscription, and commit to going through a few of the courses that the Claude or Anthropic team they offer for free. So there's three here: Claude Code 101, Claude Code in Action, and Introduction to Agent Skills. And once you have that set up and you've gone through that, I have a prompt for you that you can type in, which should build a starter skill for you called Execute a Test Case. And you should just go try it. If you've already got Claude Code or Copilot or any kind of AI tool, you can still go copy and paste this prompt in, and some good things should happen for you. So I will just leave it at that. Sergey,
I
have
love it.
you downloaded and installed Claude Code? Have you done any
Yes.
of these things in the
Yes.
last hour? I know
In the
it's been
last
1 hour.
hour. No, not in the last hour. In the last hour, I was busy going through some of the articles. But for the people, I'm just going to jump in because it was so exciting to see that. So, for the people who already use AI code or whatever, to work with AI, Microsoft has released Record and Replay skill recorder. Here we go. Because as soon as you say oh, it will create you a skill. So the next level, or maybe it's like two more levels for you if you like absolutely brand new. There is an article in the newsletter. I think it's under tools. It should be because it's a tool. Maybe I don't know, but so what it is just you again. Have you used it?
I have not yet. I only pasted it here
Yeah,
for all of our wonderful readers.
Right. So, but if you go there, again, it's from Microsoft, and also it will help you to build your own skill. So what it reminds me of. Do you remember? I don't. What was the name of the testing tool where you like hit record, do some things, and it will do the same.
I'm
What
gonna
was
let
the?
you struggle for a minute. There's multiple.
Okay, well, I used one many years ago just to
Was it
see.
before Playwright?
It was before. It was before. It was
Okay.
back in probably 2020 or 21 or something like this. Like way before. Maybe one of the first ones. I don't know, but I remember I gave.
Selenium IDE.
No, it was a different one. Never mind. The
Are
point
you
is,
sure?
yeah,
Are
I
you
am.
sure it's not Selenium IDE?
I
That's the
am.
most popular one that's old.
Well, then look at me. I go against the crowd, so I don't use the most popular thing on the block. You know, I'm not a cool kid. I'm using, some underground things. But this, again, I haven't tried, but the promise is huge. You go, record, and it just, the magic happens as always with AI. It
Yeah,
does
you
its
can
own.
narrate.
That
What I
that
like about this is it's a desktop tool, right? So you download it, you hit record, and you have a record and playback tool. I mean, in general, that's what they are, right? In the web world, as you hit record and you start using a browser, and all the information is captured. This is a little different because you're not recording the browser, but you are recording steps that you're taking on your computer, and it should build a repeatable workflow for you in the form of a skill file. And that's really what I talked about in my section is like go create a skill. This is a easier on ramp to go do that. And again, I will commit this week to trying this out. Maybe we can talk about it next week on our thoughts
a little demo, a
or a
little
demo. Yeah,
2 minutes demo. When you like do something, record it, and then ask it to replay it for you.
we'll,
Why
we'll,
not?
we'll have to do it right now. Well,
No,
how
why
about
not? No, not
okay?
right now.
Yeah,
No, right now we're gonna go. Thanks for sharing this. I think this is pretty cool. Um, building on top of cool AI things. I loved how you shared a Reddit article about what's a Claude, the hidden gem feature and prompt technique that completely changed how you use it. It's in a quick links, right?
yeah.
The post has been deleted.
I did see that, but it was on
But
purpose because this
yeah,
right here was beautiful.
exactly. And I was like, oh, it was deleted. What are the comments? And then the first comment, too long to read. And I'm like, oh, perfect. You know what? That's great. And there is a summary. When you go on Reddit, it's you open a floodgate because first of all, it just clicking through the comments is always some level of entertainment, amusement. But in this case,
Adventure.
adventure. You might be entertained. You might learn something. You might like fall asleep. You never know what's gonna happen in Reddit comments. But these are fun. I read a few and I was like, oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna keep this tab open for later. But there are this is cool one because like Butch shared the record and create a skill file. People share their own commands, and how they, work day to day. And it also because when you were talking about, oh, if you're like new to AI, where do you start?
Yep.
I I like what is it like? Like video instructions and courses and all of that stuff, but I love people's experiences. When you like get to work or try something what somebody has done. outside of those classes, outside of the, standards and instructions, so those are the cool ones. It's like a Lego blocks, everybody has a Lego and there's an instruction what you can build, and everybody builds it. Hey, everybody's happy. But there are those people who throw instructions away and build their own thing from the same set, and you look at them and you're like, wait, you could do that? Oh, wait, I didn't know this. So, yeah,
Yep.
instructions and classes are great, but don't limit yourself to those, especially if you don't work with AI and you don't have people around you physically to talk to, like talk to about AI.
Yeah.
Try to find something like this from real life experiences. And again, I think this is where your newsletter and AI and QA helps a lot, because articles come very often with instructions and examples and how to do's, all that.
Yeah. It's
Thank you.
wonderful. I will. I'll show off one little thing, and if I can find it. Nope, I can't find it. Ignore me.
All
I will
right.
say. I'll say it out loud. As you are working with these tools and you have big walls of text, one really cool thing that I've been doing recently is saying, take that wall of text and generate an HTML page for me. Generate an artifact. If you're using Claude specifically, it will build an HTML file and save it and host it for you. And you can ask it to make updates if you want to share that. It's basically a private link that you can share with others, or share with the whole world. But it's very cool. It's worth checking out. Read in color or in dark mode if you prefer, not in a terminal.
Yeah. Going back to the newsletter, what I also like, again, is the real life example. There is a cute little post on LinkedIn from Ronald. I don't know the name of it. I don't know where I found it. I think it was in the beginning of it. I just want
Tools and frameworks.
tools and frameworks might be, yes, actually. Yep, is the first one. And he just talks about what AI can do for exploratory testing. And I read it. I was like, okay, cool. So imagine, and he gives examples, right? So this is where we appreciate others, people experiences and point of views, because they give examples, how they can use it. And he says, find console errors. I was like, okay. Check accessibility issues. Okay. Analyze unnecessary network requests. And I honestly, it clicked to me, because it's a part of your day, your job as a QA, to see those unnecessary test requests. And I remember at my previous job, we did have a few issues with some UI developers who would send a massive amount of unnecessary, absolute unnecessary API requests, and I would be catching that. But again, Ronald points out that you can ask AI to do that, and because pretty often, okay, I'll finish the list. Discover hidden features, flows, and restrictions, and generate a detailed Markdown report with screenshots, traces, and even videos. But what made me think about what Ronald made me think about is, when we talk about AI, we very, very often talk about like big things, like, oh, write test case, analyze report, and those like little things, like, again, analyze unnecessary network requests. I'm like, yes, wait, why not? Why not to, ask something would, but also we will probably say guilty at some point that, yeah, we might overlook some things like that in our life and experiences, especially like deadline and stuff. Oh, two requests, who cares, like, is the data correct? But yeah, so thanks so much for that. And he points out that, hey, don't forget to use 162, the playwright.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you installed 162 in any of your repos yet?
No, but I will today. Like, I
Okay.
promise I will today.
Yeah, it's a promise, everyone.
It is a
Um,
promise. No, it's just because I want to try something else. But yeah, so
yeah.
I
Well, I
want
mean,
I
what's
need
really
to update
cool
it.
is Playwright CLI is baked into the latest. So you can just run an npx command with like a Playwright flag or CLI flag, and you have access to it. You don't have to install this extra thing, which my prompt, which I encouraged users to do in Butch's take, does, install an extra thing. But with Playwright 162, you don't have to do that anymore. So very cool stuff. I will say in my prompt, I did call out check for console errors. So I said, like, look for that as a part of the skill, because using Playwright CLI, you can check that. And also, I didn't say look for unused network requests, but I did say look for failing network requests. So if you have like a 404, which is likely the most types of issues you're going to run into, like somebody had an image out there once, it was referenced and loaded in a script, but somebody removed it. Maybe it doesn't not show up on a page somewhere, but get that cleaned up. It's 2026, people.
Ooh. Coming for people. I love that. 8 a.m. in the morning, Butch is like, come on. Okay. Well, do you have anything? What stood
first,
out to you?
I wanna talk about the hot take here.
I was why it's okay, I'm confused with your hot takes. Why you why you post hot takes which are not one sentence? Because these things make me think and cry sometimes.
Okay. Well, let me ask this, Sergey. Do you believe this is true? These are
Which
some of the
part?
AI
Which
tools
part?
I believe every QA professional should be familiar with. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, GitHub Copilot, Cursor AI, Postman AI, Windsurf AI, Notebook LM, Firebase Studio.
But scroll down. The person.
No, just you tell me. This is what stuck out to me. Do you need to learn all these things
No.
to be a great tester in AI?
No.
Okay, that's the hot take. It's wrong. This is the wrong hot take.
Yeah, but scroll down, please. I love how she spent so much time on actually creating this beautiful handwritten, map and the table explaining which one is for what. I appreciated that. I was like, okay,
This is not handwritten. You know that, right?
no way, no, come on, why would you do that? But of course not.
Well, I mean, let's just look at this. Let's look at this.
Yeah.
ChatGPT for test case generation. You only use Cursor for Selenium code generation. I don't know. Like, I don't know. When I look at this, I just think this is somebody who just like had a chat
Copilot
with
is for automation, I think, right? I think Copilot is for writing automation.
It says automation and QA, automation
go.
engineers, manual testers, and beginners. In the end, like I know what you're trying to do, but it's like, in the end, I feel like you're just trying too hard. You're trying to create a social media post. I don't know. I dropped it in here because I wanted to talk with you about. You don't need to learn all these tools. Pick one tool. Become really good with it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it could be Claude. I wouldn't use ChatGPT. I would just use Codex, which is the ChatGPT models, but they're more coding models. Cursor AI, GitHub Copilot. Just pick one of those four. I wouldn't touch Gemini right now. You can do all the things with one. Just pick one, learn it really well, and you can do all the things.
Yeah.
But you do not need to learn every single one of these. It's crazy.
I do use
That's all.
ChatGPT for my astrology charts. And Gemini for place recommendations, because you open Google Maps and pull up Gemini and be like, yo, let's go. And Gemini is pretty good. Gemini was a way bigger help. I will give kudos to Gemini. So when I went to Spain 3 weeks ago, Gemini was way better at recommending better places and give me more options and more reasoning to convince me than Claude. Claude was all over the place, like just So, but you didn't go into comment section, but there is a beautiful comment was left, which says, "No one will pay for all of them, and
That's
free version does not provide worthy result." And I'm like, this. So yeah, even though of course you don't need Chitra, that's her opinion. We still respect it. We
we
just
do for
disagree.
sure. That's
We
for
just
sure.
completely disagree. But for example, I definitely agree with Alexander Ragovsky, who said that their best technical hire is not a developer, and their best technical hire is QA engineer. And then the only thing which kind of stressed me out a little bit in the whole post. So the whole post was kind of a little applause for QA and specifically for Ksenia Loseva. That's great. But what I got scared of reading, I was like, it's a quote, second paragraph, last sentence. While she saw the processes slowing everyone down and quietly fixed them, I was like, ooh. Okay. I mean, good for Xenia to making things better, but the word quietly is kind of what I am extremely triggered right now. Because in the last few months, I got to work where things were done quietly, wherein
Yeah.
UI ticket goes back, for example, because some things AC is not met, and developer changes API. And the code is the PR goes like somewhere else. So when I get the ticket back and UI suddenly works as expected, and I'm like, how did this unicorn magic happen? Is because API was changed, but there was never a ticket for API, so I didn't get to test that. But it's one thing, it's a technical side, but also fixing processes quietly is something what I believe should never be done. I hope Ksenia, so Alexander is CTO, great. So I hope Ksenia is calling you out and your whole team on all of the things you're doing wrong, because you say that she's amazing, so she is doing a lot of changes and she sees gaps in the processes. So I just hope that it's not done quietly. It's not like suddenly everything works. Like, so I hope that Xenia makes you aware of, okay, you guys are, I think this could be better, this is best practice, this is slowing down, this is blah 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 blah. Because again, fixing quietly everything is slowing down, everything is slowing down, is great for today. In 2 weeks, when Xenia goes on vacation for 2 weeks and disappears and comes back, everything is slowed down again, because it was fixed without people being aware that it was fixed, so they don't know that they're not doing a good thing. It's like kind of basically, you go to the gym and you do an exercise and you do. Have you seen those crazy gym exercises when people do crazy stuff at the gym? I'll say,
The things you do, I see
no,
your
not me. No, 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 no,
exercises.
no. My exercises are excellent. I pay a
You
lot of
jump
money for
like
that.
5 feet in the air with like no hands.
Four and a
What's your
half.
PR? Four and a half.
Four and a
Okay.
half. 4.5
Sorry.
feet. Yes.
Little
Kneeled
exaggeration there.
from kneels on. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about sometimes. This is my biggest struggle at the gym. I see a person is doing an exercise, and I know that it's not hitting the muscle it's supposed to hit.
Sure.
Like I see them cheat, and I usually try to read their expression, whether they ego lifting. They just came because, they have a membership and they don't care.
Sure. Yeah, they got to look good. Yeah.
Yeah, they just no. Certain people have memberships, they don't care. They just go and do some. And some people want to do right, but they don't know how. So that's the example right now here. So if the team is everybody is doing exercises a little wrong, and Xenia is not coming to them and fixing it, the wrong muscles will develop incorrectly and it's going to be unbalanced. So again, too much time on this post. I love when QA gets kudos and shout outs because we rarely do. We genuinely rarely do as QA
Yeah.
people. We rarely. Come on.
All right. I know
But
you said it's too long, but I have two things.
yeah, you go.
Through your monologue, I didn't want to interrupt the wonderful
Sorry. Yeah,
gym
I go on
analogies,
those rants.
but my analogy comes from kids. So if kids do something one way, for example,
You just compare the whole team with
I've
kids.
got teenage boys, and they go mountain biking, and they have water bags that they go clean out after mountain biking, and typically those water bags will end up on a chair that doesn't need to get wet. And every time they come in, they clean everything out, they drop the bags on this chair. And my wife's like, why do they keep dropping stuff on the chair? I'm going to go move that thing. So every time she's the one moving the bag off the chairs. And last night she was like, I'm doing this every single time. And it came to her, I'm going to have a talk with them. And it comes down to giving people feedback out loud, saying, hey, you don't need to be doing this. Do something different in the future. And if you haven't had that conversation, can you really blame the kids?
No.
Can you really blame the developers that
No.
haven't had that conversation? So
You can.
if you're looking for some inspiration around how to give that talk, look no further than Sergei Gapanovich's talk. Good testing is bad news.
That's me.
And honestly, you could just send this video to your CTO, your CEO, and let it ride, or you can tactily have a conversation with the developer, one-on-one, maybe before you get going. But feel free to check this out. You can YouTube it. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. Is our video somewhere yet, or from our conference? From our
I don't think so yet.
Not yet?
Maybe it is.
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
here we can give it a quick check here.
Yeah, we
It
did.
would probably be. Yeah, it's not up yet.
It's not up yet, but we will definitely share a video of how we did not live stream, but live stand up.
Q&A. Yeah,
Live
it was
stand
live stand
up.
up. That's great.
It was live stand up about quality in QA. Yeah. So, but we will share it. So, but anyway, ending with all of this, thanks again for you to posting this because it was like, oh, I went with one intention and I found something else. And again, I just got triggered as soon as I saw the word quietly, and I was like, nah, we are not doing that. Okay.
But big props to people that have a testing mindset. Like, you actually have a ton of skills that are needed in the field today. I know the job market's rough, but you are needed, whether the market realizes it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go to Tatiana Arbuzova. I think it's one of the last ones as well. She was talking about communication. How important is communication? You looking for the article?
Yep, it's right here. I just have
You
to
found it?
open it,
Yeah.
and my mouse is not wanting to middle click well. Go ahead.
So her point, I agree 100% that because we, forced to use AI every single day at this point. I mean, you have to. And and it does help to use it. She's coming it's been said 1,000 times, and guess what? I'll say it 10 million more times. How important the communication is, and how important the critical thinking is. She makes a good, accent on the, communication, meaning that when you talk about, with AI, or you have to communicate what you want. And so again, a very beautiful post. I agree 100%. And on August 10th, today, they're launching the virtual pass for Innovate QA 2026. Again, it's just in the article. So again, go to AI in QA find this issue if you didn't get it in your mailbox today. Click subscribe so you'll get next Monday. Don't miss on those things. And again, Tatiana shared this post. What was made me think is I never had this analogy, but think about it's coming back from my DevOps testing days. Why did I do that? It was DevOps testing when I was working at Rancher, and I had to test Kubernetes, right? So sometimes when you just start a cluster or start a specific part, you have a massive command, just like word after word after word with argument. It can be so long and so just looking crazy. But what this article made me think because I always think about like critical thinking when with AI and all of that stuff, but communication is also a massive an important part. Because think about that command. Think about any long command you do when you work with computers, with software, right? So when you want to be more explicit and you want specific result, you add an argument.
Yep.
And you do pass a value, for example, right? Like port 5757, just made this up, or something like that. Like what type of a connection, maybe duration, maybe username, all of those things. So think about when you talk about with AI, how communication is important is first of all to know all those words, right? To be concise, but also to be very specific. Because if I start again a Kubernetes cluster, or I start my application and the port is not specified by me, but I know I like the port 4545, and I hit the command and it creates on port 5050, and I'm be like, you stupid, how could you do this? I didn't want a 50-50, right? Like, wait, give me 50-50. But this is how important the communication is, because those commands we, send to in prompts, in CLIs and everywhere, in terminals, to talk to software, it's no different with AI. The only difference is you talking in pseudocode, which is plain English, you're like describing what you want. But again, how important the communication is, how important to be specific, how important to know what you need also, right? Because if you say, give me the best thing of blah, well, good luck with that. But if you know exactly what you want, you'll be like, hey, I've heard this thing is the best blah ever, so can I get that? You see how different it is. So
Yeah.
Innovate QA might help you. Just it was my, they didn't pay me, I promise. But it was just to connect my monologue again from where I started and where I'm ending. I'm talking
Yeah.
too much today, I think, but I'm done.
He's not done. He's
I'm not
cooking.
done. Give me the next article. So the next okay, you go.
So yeah, I'll drop a few here that I thought
Yes.
were pretty interesting. Here, this my AI native engineering loop. I included this because, well, one, it is very long. So if you're just curious about how developers are working today, how you could go develop code, how you can adopt some of these, vibe coding or AI coding workflows. This article is quite good because it gives you very practical things. He provides different skills that he uses. Again, it is very, very long. So, but the workflow is here, right? Find the thing, brief the agent, make it grill me, which is basically ask a whole bunch of questions until you suss out all the bugs. That's the hope, right? We know that's not always possible. Take that conversation, turn it into a spec, hand it off to a coding agent and let it do its thing. And then have conversations, talk to it, change, change behavior once you've seen it and test it. And definitely worth checking out if you have not ever tried this. This is something that I would say maybe it's more on the higher level type of things, but it's worth experimenting. If you've never used an AI coding tool, but you've been using maybe Claude Code for a month or two or three, and you haven't built anything with it, this is probably a very big chunk you could bite off, but maybe a similar one that's just a little different. There's a skill called Superpowers, which pretty much walks you through that. So this is a freebie. This one's not in the newsletter this week. But if you're curious about, hey, how can I get started without having to know all the things? You go install this superpower skill. It's very popular out here. And you pretty much just say, hey, with superpowers, I want to build this thing. And you provide some context and it will take it from there. I think by default, it does test driven development. So it's writing test and then writing the code to actually get things to pass. So it's quite fun. You will hit your limits if you throw anything large at this thing, especially if you just have a beginner type setup. So, any questions?
No.
Cool.
I want to talk again. No, but
Of course you do.
of course I do. That's why. I mean, why am I here? I mean, I can sit here and look pretty, but who needs that? No, I'm here to talk. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about? I'm still giving you time because we have only 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I think. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I mean,
Okay.
the big thing, go walk through this. If you've never done if you haven't used this, go watch these courses, follow along. I will call out one other thing I did see as I was scrolling through here. Go check out this. If you've used AI tools, and you've used it in a testing framework, and you've tried to think about like, how do I manage context about my application in my test suite? Because I don't want our AI tools to have to go learn these things every single time. This MDCP seems like an interesting tool that's worth experimenting with. When I say adopt it, maybe, I don't know. Go experiment, see if it works. But what this was shared from the Agile Testing Fellowship newsletter. So big shout out to Janet and Lisa over there that run that. But check out the tool, install it in a project. Basically what this does is it takes READMEs and it tries to organize them for you in a way that your AI tools can utilize them. So
Nice. Okay. For
what
those
you got?
people who have used AI, also the article "My Agentic Framework Had a Hidden Gap. Here's what I built to close it," from Srinivas. First of all, he made a good observation about hallucination, what it is, and he said that there's fabrication and misreporting. Just an interesting, take, and you will, have an opportunity to read about it. But also there's a thing, agentic validation layer. So instead of asking AI to test AI to test AI and all of that stuff, he built agentic validation layer, which is not AI. What it is, how it's working, and everything. There's an example. Also, he provided with real life examples from his. He's been using it for 1 week only, so the sample is not that big, but still, there is some data, and he will show you. He talks about examples. So just give it a read again. Implement or not. Not okay, yes, great, but it just helps to know that, again, we're going back to the fact that somebody else is doing something else, and it's good to know that, that exists. Also, there is Rajesh Kumar with why AI testing needs confidence scores, not just pass fail results. I loved his opening paragraph about that. You know, it's been binary since the beginning. It was just binary: fail and pass, fail and pass, fail and pass. And if you scroll, there's a lot of ads.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you scroll down, there are going to be examples of how to implement a confidence level. So basically, make AI to report to you and say, hey, I found this, my confidence level about this is 56%, and you decide what to do with that, right? Disregard, take a look, trust it, and depending on, your comfortability with those confidence levels, which you can establish yourself. So that one is great. And I want to end on Andy Johnson, who is a recruiter, and he made a little LinkedIn post about can an SDET actually become an AI engineer if they decide to pivot? Because, right now, with all the amount of people I meet who go into delusional territory because AI exists, I meet now, and especially I live in Miami. Come on now, this is the place to be delusional, you know? the, these finance bros and everything is crazy, but I have met so many recently.
You rub shoulders with the finance bros?
No, no, I just know they exist and that's enough for me. But um, so the thing is that I've met people who suddenly decided to become, designers and marketing and all of that, and because of AI and because how simple it looks now to make things, right? To create things. So everybody's a designer. Oh, I'm doing this little thing. Oh, I'm doing this thing. I met people who write songs and make AI to sing them, and they try to.
Oh,
So I've seen so much now, and that's why when I saw this, I was like, yeah, let's go. But this one is not delusional. Some people are delusional who think they're gonna be amazing developers just because AI exists. But the what Andy points out is like if you're a QA person, and I'm gonna add a little like in the brackets a good QA person, um,
ooh.
who knows how processes do. Oh, Xenia, who fixes quietly everything.
Yeah, there you
Xenia,
go.
Xenia, let's take Xenia case study. If Xenia decides to go and become a developer, I personally truly believe that when a person goes from QA to developing is a great thing for the world. Because if that person is a good QA person, right, good QA professional, they're gonna be amazing developer, and great things will be created, especially now with AI help. But Andy also says that hey, if you think you want to do this, let me know. So also, here you go, job fair. Who knew that this will become a job fair at the end?
That's right. That's right.
But thanks for
Well,
sharing, because again, I read it and I was like, oh, do I? No, I was like, no, 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 not me.
it's like,
I'm
are
not.
you ready to go build things?
I'm not. I'm
So
not.
I will
I
say there were no questions this week. I came here and I was just very sad. So if you are listening, you've made it this far, drop us a question. You can just come say, hey, Butch, hey, Sergey, how are you doing? That would be acceptable too. We just want to hear from you. We want a little bit of engagement, you know? So this is one way you can do it from the webpage.
Yeah. And if there are going to be no questions, don't worry. We will have answers for our own questions next Monday, same time. Thank you so much for joining us. AI and QA. We will see you next week.
Bye.